wonderful and talented Mike
money
Deep
from your trading account in order to pay your bills.
So we've got quite a crowd here for you today, bringing you all aspects of the in-flight abort that should be happening here, targeting 10 a.m. local time. So again, if you've got questions, go ahead and throw them up in the chat and we'll get them answered for you here on the stream. But first, let's talk a little bit about exactly what we're going to see today. And this is something that we'll go over more as the stream progresses. But the first thing we're going to hear over the comments is the final polling and readiness to proceed with fueling of the Falcon 9, and that should come roughly the 38-minute mark prior to liftoff. About a minute later, at 37 minutes prior to launch, the crew access arm will pull back 90 degrees to its retracted position, and that will initiate the arming sequence for the abort motors, the Super Draco engines that would fire to pull Dragon away from the top of the Falcon 9 on the launch pad if there were to be some type of problem with fueling today, or whenever there's a crew on board. Whenever Crew Dragon is launching, those abort thrusters will be armed about 2 minutes prior to the start of fueling operations. And after that, fueling operations will progress as a normal Falcon 9 does with the T-minus 35 minutes. The teams will begin automatically loading the RP1 kerosene and densified liquid oxygen
do not withdraw your money. What about number 3? This is going to sound crazy.
At the same moment,
but
RP1 kerosene will begin flowing into the second stage. But whereas the first stage is loaded simultaneously, the second stage is located staggered. It's fueled staggered. So RP1 will load first, and that'll wrap up around 17.5 minutes before liftoff.
So adding to your account is obviously a great way to get liftoff, and obviously a great way to decrease the amount of time it takes to get to that goal.
Even though this is an in-flight abort test, the second stage will not ignite. The second stage also does not have an engine.
Now what I want to do is take a look at 2 example traders. One who is making the mistake of quitting his day job, withdrawing his money,
both stages will be loaded to his account, as if it is a normal launch. So the second stage and the first stage will each have a full complement of propellant on board. After that, engine chill down will begin at 7 minutes, and the transporter erector will pull back to its pre-launch position of 88.5 degrees about 3.5 minutes before liftoff, and then we will have ignition of the 9 Merlin 1D engines 3 seconds before liftoff and liftoff at T0. After that, Falcon 9 will climb vertically from the pad and then perform a pitch and roll maneuver to place itself onto the correct heading for today's mission. Now, the key to today's mission is that even though Dragon is an international space station craft, because this mission is not going to the International Space Station, they do not have to follow that ground track. So they're not going to turn and go northeast out of Kennedy today. They're going to turn and go due east out of Kennedy, out over the Atlantic Ocean, directly out over the ocean, to get as far away from land as possible, so that when the abort is triggered about 84 seconds into flight, the Falcon 9 is far enough away from land so that if it does rip apart from aerodynamic forces right away when the abort is triggered, the debris doesn't pose a hazard to land.
Turning his account into a 20.
But at 84 seconds, the command will be sent to shut down
he withdraws every month
base
all
of the Falcon 9. That will simulate a thrust termination failure, a failure that Dragon's computer should detect and initiate and activate the Super Draco and the abort sequence. If all goes to plan, Dragon will speed away, pulling about 4 Gs of acceleration and going from 1.8 times the speed of sound to 2.5 times the speed of sound in the 10 seconds that it takes those Super Draco engines to fire. The capsule and trunk will then coast up to apogee, the highest point in its suborbital arc, and at that point of apogee, the trunk will separate and Dragon will reorient heat shield first for the entry and descent part of the abort. That will culminate with the deployment of the drogue parachutes first, the 2 drogues, which will slow Dragon down and get it into a stable configuration for main parachutes deploy, and those 4 main Mark III parachutes, the new parachutes that SpaceX has been testing and the ones that will be used on crew flights will deploy and slow the capsule down for a very gentle splashdown into the Atlantic Ocean. The whole flight sequence from liftoff to splashdown is expected to take about 10 minutes. It's unclear from us here whether we will actually have good visibility to see the parachute deploy sequence. We hope we will, but regardless, we have DOS out on a boat in the Atlantic Ocean, about 20 kilometers out to sea, so he's about 20 kilometers from the pad and about 10 to 16 kilometers away from where Dragon is expected to splash down. Of course, they are outside the exclusion zone, so they won't have a problem with that, but we should have good video regardless, either during the live stream or after the fact of the parachute deploy and landing sequence. Year is $34,000. So that's what we can expect. So here's where compound interest starts taking place. Now in year 2, he's starting with $34,000. And remember, an hour and 6 minutes away from liftoff, we are still counting down. So what we should be listening for on the net is the technical readiness poll. That should be coming about the hour mark before launch. But one thing with these SpaceX countdowns is even if they don't hear stuff over the net, if the clock is still counting, it means everything's on track. It means everything's good because quiet countdowns for SpaceX are what we want to hear. $40,800, we'll just call it 40K. Yes, and we will be able to bring you some of that audio live, more so than we normally do, because it's a NASA-provided number and a NASA flight for this mission. Plus 12,000, so which is going to be $86,000. So the questions that you guys have been posting into the chat on YouTube, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them up. If you feel like the question may have been asked, or if you're nervous about asking the question, go ahead and ask it. I guarantee you other people are wanting to ask as well, so please go ahead and ask your question. So the first one we have here from Benjamin Wolski is there a robotic arm pressing the abort button, or is the abort being triggered from flight control? That's an excellent question. So the abort is pre-programmed. That means he's making so the Falcon 9's onboard flight computers are programmed to shut the 9 Merlin 1D engines down 84 seconds into launch, right about the moment of maximum aerodynamic, the point of maximum air stress and mechanical stress on the rocket. It's the most difficult portion of the flight sequence in which to abort. And remember, so he's still that's why they are doing it here, because if they do the abort here at max Q, everything goes perfectly. Max Q is the moment of maximum aerodynamic pressure. The money if they do it there and it all goes great, then that gives the confidence and the data that it can happen at the less stressful his starting balance of $86,000. He is now, over the course of 3 years, returned well over $200,000 just by following these 3 very simple practices, which are to keep your day job, initiate the abort away from the top of the Falcon 9. So no robotic arm is actually pressing a button. No one in mission control or launch control Hawthorne is pressing a button. It's all the shutdown is programmed, and Dragon's computer logic of what it uses to detect off nominal conditions to abort away will see that and trick the abort engines to fire. So great question there. Another question we have from Dan Hermsen. If fueling is started, you can pretty sure the launch window is not extended anymore, right? Or can they still hold? A great question. So what Dan is asking there is, once they start fueling at T-minus 35 minutes, is there the ability to hold, or does it then become an instantaneous window? The answer is they can hold. While missions to the International Space Station would have instantaneous windows, the Falcon 9 is going to be just as much about the way that I budget my money so I can add to my account and keep myself from withdrawing from my account, as it is about the strategy I'm trading, or about the technical analysis I'm using, or about the way my ROI from trading alone is coming through. Now in this example, I use 10% as the example ROI. That's not a super realistic return, especially for beginners. 10% per month is a very large return in financial markets, especially for swing traders, which is what I do. Day traders, it may not be. As a day trader, you can right?
Like
Like
a little bit more. But as a swing trader, that's a pretty heavy return. So I'm not saying that 10% a month is something
that's very
realistic.
different
What
from
I'm
there
doing
being a
is simple
technical
math to help
issue
myself.
on the
So I don't have to use
rocket
a
that would
calculator all
force
the
a
time. So
scrub
10%
completely.
was used for
But
that reason.
in general, yes,
Final
they
takeaway
can
for
hold
this
after
video,
they start.
I want you to think about how dramatically
stable
different
hold
these two
point is
returns are. We're talking about a difference between $36,000 and over $200,000 for trader B. And the only difference that these two traders had was three very simple things, right? It was trader B kept his day job. One of the reasons he did that was so he or she could use compound interest by not having to withdraw money to pay his bills, and also so that he could add to his investment account as often as possible and as much as possible in order to increase the size of that account dramatically over a short period of time. Taking these three steps in your trading once you become profitable, no matter what your return is, no matter what your starting balance is, no matter how much you can add to your account each month, it doesn't have to be $1,000. The formula remains the same, and no matter what your situation is,
once you
will
know
get there
that,
faster if
because
you
of where
take
they're going
these
in
three
space,
steps. It's
you work
guaranteed.
backwards
Now,
on the timeline
do
to the
not
launch
take these
site,
steps if you're not
and that
profitable
gives you your
yet.
launch
Obviously,
time.
keep
So
your day job
a lot of the comm satellites that we launch here from Florida for other nations
worry about
end
trying
up
to
being
add to your
nighttime
account. If you're not
because of
profitable and you don't
where
have a
those
trade
satellites
plan,
are going
you
and
probably
at
need to go
what
back
point
to
they
square
have
one
to
and
get
start learning how to
there
trade. But
at the
I
local
digress,
solar
as that's a little bit beyond the
over their
scope of
particular
this video.
area.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that
But
like button
missions
for
to
me.
the
Go ahead and
International
subscribe
Space
if you
Station
are
are
new.
different.
Hope you had a great trading week,
Those
and I hope you
missions are
trade great.
timed
If you did enjoy this
out of
content,
Florida
be sure to
for
comment
when the
below.
ground
If you
track
want me
of
to
the
do more
International Space
content
Station
like
is
this,
passing to the
talking more about that
northeast,
gap in between,
going from
someone
southwest
that's
to
now
northeast, and
profitable to
where
someone
does
that can
that
actually trade
intersect
for
the
a
launch
living.
pad
I'd
and
love to
at
do more
what
videos
time?
on that if
And
it's
there's
something
no
you guys
control over
find
that.
valuable. So be sure to comment below if you do. With that said, I'm going to end this video here, and I will talk to you in the next one.
In the morning.
Hey traders, hope you're doing great. My name is Steven, in case you're brand new, and today I want to talk to you about something that I hope can fill the gap
simply
in the Forex
when is
industry.
the space station
Most
passing
Forex
over
videos, including a lot
the
of my
launch site
own,
that
are
day
trying to
that
help you go from wherever you are to becoming
this
profitable. But
the reason it's a window from 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon is because of lighting conditions. So these types of tests you need not a lot of cloud cover, so you can see the rocket as it
There is a gap there. It's something that I experienced at the beginning of my trading career.
Daylight, so that you can clearly see everything.
On the bottom of the screen that are underlined in red. These two numbers were the return on investment, the ROI
in that window
of the same exact trades,
concerns
using
or
the same exact risk management
considerations
plan, and over the same exact period of time. But as you know, there's a huge difference between $36,000 and $200,000. Well, the three tips I'm going to share with you today are the only difference between these two traders, and that's what I want to show you is how to significantly decrease the amount of time it takes you to grow your capital to a point where you can actually live off of it once you become profitable. So whether you are
no more than 4 hours for military operations, but they're a little bit flexible with military and U.S. government launches to allow them to have longer windows like today with 6 hours, like you see for National Reconnaissance Office and DOT flights, where you can get those longer windows. Right. Basically, if you can bring it down to national defense or national security or human space,
let's go ahead and get started. Again, these are three things that are going to dramatically decrease the amount of time it takes you to get to your goal account size, where you can actually start trading and quit your day job. Speaking of, what is the first thing you think about when you think about profitable trading?
So
for a lot of you, and I know this is how it was for me.
All right, let's see what else. What other questions do we have? Zaim wanted to know how long can the rocket, the Capsule Plus booster, keep standing on the pad as it has been. Basically, how long can they keep it erect on the pad? I don't believe there is a timing issue with that. The Falcon 9 will stay vertical for as long as it needs to, unless they need to bring it back down horizontal to swap out.
The long story short is that when you first started trading, and even when you first become profitable, let's say you've been trading for a year, and you're now to a point where you're consistently making money every month. Even if that's the case, chances are
that's a great question.
You don't have a large enough account size in order to trade for a living. So the main goal of all three of these tips is going to be to get you to the point of having a large enough account to trade for a living. And the first step in doing so is to keep that day job. You don't want to have to withdraw money from your trading account in order to pay your bills at the beginning of your trading whenever you don't have enough money to even trade for a living in the first place. So that's why the first tip is to keep your day job even whenever you become a profitable trader.
parachute
move on to
deployed,
number 2.
but then there could be
Number 2,
or cast guys out over the sea, at which point they'd be
not
satisfying the visual requirements.
I may not have. I'm going to look on my chart to see how to draw ends. I did it right. Oh my gosh, I'm dyslexic, in case you didn't know. Do not,
you know, I very much hope we'll be able to see the parachute deploy sequence. And
do not take money
under
out
its
of your
parachutes.
account. And you'll see why in just
really
a second. We're going to go through the math of how one trader A got a 36,000 return when trader B got a $200,000 return. One of the
Space
biggest
Padre
reasons is because
Island,
trader B
hey,
did
Gene
not
or Rachel,
withdraw
whichever one
the
of you
money
is
from his
asking this
account.
question.
Withdrawing money when you're trying to grow an account
Great question
cripples
from
your
them.
ability to grow that account in a
Explosive
fast way.
detonation or just a
Compound interest
disintegration
was named the eighth wonder of the world by Albert Einstein for a reason.
That's
the
an
only
excellent
way
question,
to let
and
compound
the answer
interest take hold and take
depends on
effect in
when
your
it
account
actually
is
breaks
by
up.
not withdrawing money. This is one of the pivotal mistakes that I made at the beginning of my trading career. I constantly thought that I needed to reward myself for doing well, so I might have a really good month where I made like 10%
sort of
on a $10,000
instantly
account. I
as
would
Dragon
take
aborts,
that
they do
$1,000 that I
expect
made
some kind
and
of
go spend it on
conflagration
something that
as
I
the
wanted.
propellants mix
I wasn't in the right mindset
and
of
ignite.
growing my account as fast as possible. And
But
once we become
exactly how
profitable
much
traders,
of a
our
like
next mission should be to
fireball
grow
it might
our
look
account
like,
as
or
fast
how
as
much of a
possible
just
for us
like
to be able to quit our day job
puff of
and start
white
trading
as
for a
the
living, which I
box
imagine
ruptures
is your goal.
as
I know
it,
that was my goal whenever I first started. So, number 2 is definitely do not withdraw
Hang on one
your
second
money.
for me.
What about number 3? This one's going to sound crazy, but add to your account. You want to constantly be adding to your account at the beginning when you first become profitable.
So they are still no-go for weather and violating weather constraints in the downrange recovery zone. So they are pushing 30 minutes to 10:30 a.m. local time or 15:30 UTC. And what they were saying over the Countdown Net is this will now be the operation that we are in until we get good weather conditions everywhere. We will push at 30
Now what I want to do is take a look at 2 example traders.
At about
one
the
who is making the mistake
45-ish
of
minute,
quitting his day job, withdrawing his money,
limit
and
out, we'll
not
push at
adding to his
30-minute
account,
increments.
and the other doing the opposite.
So we are
and
now
taking
an
all of
hour
these
and
steps in order to increase his
26
account size
minutes
as
away
fast as possible. And we're going to take a look at the
from
comparison
liftoff.
of the 2 returns. So on the screen, you can see that we have
So-
trader A on the left and trader B
Yes.
on the right. We're going to assume that they both have the same
all is well,
exact
and this
situation.
might
They
just
both
be
have a starting
what we
balance
do for the day is push
of
in 30-minute
$10,000.
increments.
They both have a
I'm going to
job
step away
where they
just
make
really
$4,000.
quick from the
Their
audio
expenses
portion
are
of our
$3,000.
stream to
We're just
confer
using
with the
very
team behind the
generalized numbers
scenes,
here.
but we'll be
and
right
that
back.
means that their extra that they have left over at the end of every month is about $1,000, and their average return is 10% per month. This is the same across the board for trader A and for trader B. And the reason I picked most of these numbers is because $50,000 a year is an average income for America. 4K a month is around that price, or around that amount, and then 3K a month is average expenses in America. So that leaves most people with an extra about $1,000 at the end of every month if they're budgeting correctly. So with this being the case, let's take a look at trader A. Year 1, trader A takes his $10,000 account, turns it to 12K, or gets a 12K return, turning his account into a 22K account. Now, he withdraws every month all of his profits. So after his first year, we're going into year 2. So trader A quit his day job, which means he's having to use all of his trading money, which means he's having to withdraw all the money, which also means he has no money to add to the trading account. So at the end of the year 1, even though he came out very profitable, making a 12K profit, he now has to restart with $10,000. What do you think happens in year number 2? The same exact thing, right? So then he turns that 10,000 into 22K again, and in year 3, he turns 10,000 into 22K. With this being the case, what was the total return, the total ROI that he got? Well, he made $12,000 for 3 years, meaning that he got about a $36,000 return. He took a starting balance of $10,000 and was able to return $36,000 from that $10,000 initial investment. Now, what about trader B that takes all 3 of those things we talked about earlier seriously? He keeps his day job, he doesn't withdraw money from his account, and he adds as much as he possibly can to his account every month. Let's look at year 1. Year 1, he makes the same 10% per month. So he goes from 10K to 12K based on the return. But remember, he's putting every bit of his extra money into his trading account so he can grow it as fast as possible. So in year one, he didn't only return $12K, he also added $12,000 to that account, meaning that overall added to the account's been $24,000. If we then add our $10,000 to that, his account size at the end of his first year is $34,000.
Okay, so
here's
we're
where
gonna go ahead
compound
and
interest
leave
starts taking place. Now,
the visual part of our stream up for all of you.
He's starting with
$34,000 coverage.
And remember, we're using the same return for both of these traders, and that's going to be 10% a month because math is easy.
Yeah, we'll be
with
back in 22 minutes.
So at $34,000 account balance, what does that mean? That means he is
for
now Trader B
to keep
is making $3,400 a month, whereas Trader
what's
A
going on. So
was only able to make
keep enjoying live views of Dragon and Falcon 9 at the pad.
So now let's calculate that. So in year
Space
2,
Padre
from
Island,
this
we will get back to your
$34,000 starting
question
balance, he has
and finish that
returned
part of the answer when we come back for audio.
$40,800. We'll just call it
Come
40K.
back for audio commentary.
And he's added 12K to that as well. So if we add all of these up, you have 74,000 plus 12,000, which is going to be $86,000. So at the end of year 2, Trader B's account is dramatically higher than Trader A. And it's because he allowed compound interest to take effect. He also added to his account every year as much as he possibly could, kept his day job so he could do those two things. So let's talk about year 3. In year 3, because of compound interest and adding to his account, Trader B now starts his year with $86,000. Now, if he's averaging 10% per month, that means he's making $8,600 a month. He's a 6-figure trader right now. But let's say he decides to keep his day job. His goal was to be over 6 figures in his account before he quit his day job. So here we have 86K, meaning that he returned $103,000 in year number 3. And remember, he's still adding 12K per year by taking all of his extra money and putting it into his trading account. So that puts him at a return, including the money he's added in, to about $115,000. And if you add that to his starting balance of $86,000, he is now, over the course of 3 years, returned well over $200,000 just by following these 3 very simple practices, which are to keep your day job once you become profitable, not withdraw your money, which is a big mistake I see a lot of traders make and that I made on my own at the beginning of my trading career. Withdrawing money just completely discounts compound interest. And if you use compound interest correctly in your favor, it can dramatically decrease the amount of time it takes you to make money in any financial market. Also, Trader B decided to add to his account every month as much as he could in order to increase his starting balance. So look, I know that this video probably wasn't as entertaining as most of the videos that I put out, with charts everywhere and teaching you things about technical analysis or about trading psychology or risk management, but this is something that I don't think is talked about nearly enough, and that is that gap between becoming a profitable trader and actually being able to trade for a living. And I know this is a video I wish I would have been able to see or someone would have made for me to understand that going from a small account balance to a larger account balance is going to be just as much about the way that I budget my money so I can add to my account and keep myself from withdrawing from my account as it is about the strategy I'm trading or about the technical analysis I'm using or about the way my ROI from trading alone is coming through. Now, in this example, I use 10% as the example ROI. That's not a super realistic return, especially for beginners. 10% per month is a very large return in financial markets, especially for swing traders, which is what I do. Day traders, it may not be. As a day trader, you can probably make a little bit more, but as a swing trader, that's a pretty heavy return. So I'm not saying that 10% a month is something realistic. What I'm doing is simple math to help myself so that I don't have to use a calculator all the time. So 10% was used for that reason and that reason only. Final takeaway for this video, I want you to think about how dramatically different these two returns are. We're talking about a difference between $36,000 and over $200,000 for Trader B. And the only difference that these two traders had was 3 very simple things, right? It was Trader B kept his day job. One of the reasons he did that was so he or she could use compound interest by not having to withdraw money to pay his bills. And also so that he could add to his investment account as often as possible and as much as possible in order to increase the size of that account dramatically over a short period of time. taking these 3 steps in your trading once you become profitable, no matter what your return is, no matter what your starting balance is, no matter how much you can add to your account each month, it doesn't have to be $1,000. The formula remains the same. And no matter what your situation is, you will get there faster if you take these 3 steps. It's guaranteed. Now, do not take these steps if you're not profitable yet. Obviously, keep your day job if you're not profitable. But if you're not profitable, it's not like you need to worry about trying to add to your account. If you're not profitable and you don't have a trading plan, you probably need to go back to square one and start learning how to trade. But I digress, as that's a little bit beyond the scope of this video. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that like button for me. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new. Hope you had a great trading week, and I hope you trade green. If you did enjoy this content, be sure to comment below if you want me to do more content like this, talking more about that gap in between, going from someone that's now profitable to someone that can actually trade for a living. I'd love to do more videos on that if it's something you guys find valuable, so be sure to comment below if you do. With that said, I'm going to end this video here, and I will talk to you in the next one. See you soon. Hey traders, hope you're doing great. My name is Steven in case you're brand new, and today I want to talk to you about something that I hope can fill the gap in the Forex industry. Most Forex videos, including a lot of my own, are trying to help you go from wherever you are to becoming profitable. But something almost no videos do is tell you how to fill the gap between when you become profitable and gaining an account size that's big enough for you to actually live off of with your trading. There is a gap there. It's something that I experienced at the beginning of my trading career. And if you look at the screen, you look at the 2 numbers on the bottom of the screen that are underlined in red, these 2 numbers were the return on investment, the ROI of the same exact trades, using the same exact risk management plan and over the same exact period of time. But as you know, there's a huge difference between $36,000 and $200,000. Well, the 3 tips I'm going to share with you today are the only difference between these 2 traders. And that's what I want to show you, is how to significantly decrease the amount of time it takes you to grow your capital to a point that you can actually live off of it once you become profitable. So whether you are a complete beginner or someone that's already a profitable trader, this video will benefit you if you ever plan to become profitable, which I hope all of you do. So if that sounds good, go ahead and click that like button for me. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you after the intro and disclaimer. Welcome back, and let's go ahead and get started. Again, these are 3 things that are going to dramatically decrease the amount of time it takes you to get to your goal account size where you can actually start trading and quit your day job. Speaking of, what is the first thing you think about when you think about profitable trading? For a lot of you, and I know this is how it was for me, whenever I first started trading, I thought about quitting my day job. I thought, man, as soon as I'm profitable, I'm going to quit this day job and I'm going to start just trading for a living. Well, what if I told you the first way to significantly decrease the amount of time it takes you to get to your goal account size is to keep your day job? And I know that doesn't sound attractive or awesome, but the long story short is that when you first started trading, and even when you first become profitable, let's say you've been trading for a year and you're now to a point where you're consistently making money every month, even if that's the case, chances are you don't have a large enough account size in order to trade for a living. So the main goal of all 3 of these tips is going to be to get you to the point of having a large enough account to trade for a living. And the first step in doing so is to keep that day job. You don't want to have to withdraw money from your trading account in order to pay your bills at the beginning of your trading whenever you don't have enough money to even trade for a living in the first place. So that's why the first tip is to keep your day job even whenever you become a profitable trader. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2, do not, I hope I drew that right. I may not have. I'm having to look on my chart to see how to draw ends. I did it right. Oh my gosh, I'm dyslexic, in case you didn't know. Do not withdraw your money. Do not take money out of your account. And you'll see why in just a second. We're going to go through the math of how one trader A, got a $36,000 return when trader B got a $200,000 return. One of the biggest reasons is because trader B did not withdraw the money from his account. Withdrawing money when you're trying to grow an account cripples your ability to grow that account in a fast way. Compound interest was named the 8th wonder of the world by Albert Einstein for a reason. The only way to let compound interest take hold and take effect in your account is by not withdrawing money. This is one of the pivotal mistakes that I made at the beginning of my trading career. I constantly thought that I needed to reward myself for doing well. So I might have a really good month where I made like 10% on a $10,000 account, and I would take that $1,000 that I made and go spend it on something that I wanted. I wasn't in the right mindset of growing my account as fast as possible. And once we become profitable traders, our next mission should be to grow our account as fast as possible for us to be able to quit our day job and start trading for a living, which I imagine is your goal. I know that was my goal whenever I first started. So number 2 is definitely do not withdraw your money. What about number 3? This one's going to sound crazy, but add to your account. You want to constantly be adding to your account at the beginning when you first become profitable, because that's just going to help you get to your goal account size much, much faster. So adding to your account is obviously a great way to get there, and obviously a great way to decrease the amount of time it takes to get to that goal number in your account so you can quit your day job and start trading for a living. Now what I want to do is take a look at 2 example traders, one who is making the mistake of quitting his day job, withdrawing his money, and not adding to his account, and the other doing the opposite and taking all of these steps in order to increase his account size as fast as possible. And we're going to take a look at the comparison of the 2 returns. So on the screen, you can see that we have trader A on the left and trader B on the right. We're going to assume that they both have the same exact situation. They both have a starting balance of $10,000. They both have a job where they make $4,000. Their expenses are $3,000. We're just